Hey guys, Coach Mitch here. Shane, Secret Service Super Interview. You passed, man. I want to tell everybody, good job for Shane. Yes. Mike passed his what? Secret Service Super Interview. He also passed. Mike, I'm so proud of you, man. Good job. Craig also passed his Secret Service Super Interview. Nice job there. Last one, gotta give it up for Melissa. She also passed her Secret Service Super Interview. All my awesome clients, you guys, boy, we did some work, didn't we? I'm so proud of all of you guys. Please give it up for my 4 awesome clients who are moving on to the Secret Service process. Today, let's talk about a couple things you must understand about the Secret Service Super interview panel, okay? First thing, forget the word interview. It's not applicable whatsoever. In my 7 years of teaching Secret Service Super Interview, that word doesn't even belong there, really. It shouldn't be there at all. Because it's not an interview. It's really an evaluation of you. It's an evaluation of you in your completeness, right? So it's not an interview. Interview is like where you want to be in 5 years, right? What's your strength? What's your weakness? You will not encounter any of that in the Secret Service interview. You're not being judged on confidence or your personality. You're being judged, listen carefully, guys, on your judgment, restraint, decision making, emotional maturity, all under an arena of pressure. This is what I bring to you when we go through the question phases. This is what we got to talk about when we go through this part of the interview coaching process. And that's the scoring criteria. It's important you guys get this. That's how they're scoring my clients. They're not scoring you on anything else. Take all that civilian nonsense out of your head. It's not going to help you at all in the Secret Service Super Interview. You have to think how they think. How do you get that knowledge? I show you how to do it. Some of you come from law enforcement backgrounds, which is always awesome to hear that. You know, it's really good to hear you guys want to continue your mission for the country just in a different, wearing a different badge, right? However, sometimes the street habits and the shortcuts and what worked before can sometimes conflict with protective doctrine, right? Because they're 2 different situations or 2 different jobs. What you did as LE is not the same as you're going to do as Secret Service, right? They both serve a purpose, but they serve different purposes, and they cannot be overlaid in full. Yes, for sure, some of those good habits you learn as LE does convert over, but not everything. This panel is looking for discipline and prevention. So they're not looking for over-the-top type behavior, right? They're looking for people who are chasing down problems, right? None of that. They are really focused on stuff like that. Let's talk about the quiet disqualifiers. This I know from having a colleague there for a few years who actually does the interview panels. And so this is one thing that gets you guys a lot of the times is you guys are using verbiage and behaviors that are disqualifying you from the whole process. Rigid answers, unnecessary force. Those kind of things you might think sound good, but they don't. For the panel, over assertiveness, being overly assertive in your job. Those things they don't want to hear, they don't want to deal with. They want to hear you dealing with common sense, but strong, confident approaches without trying to be a Rambo. They don't want Rambos. I say this for the FBI guys too. I say this for my Secret Service guys as well. Your answers cannot be Rambo-based. They have to be common sense-based. Yes, we know you have the authority, but there's no need to be overly aggressive with that authority unless it's called for. That's what they want. When you meet me for the first time, the use of STAR, situation, task, action, result, is going to go out of the window for the most part. At least S and T are gone. Action and result are going to be used in a very covert way, not overt, because coaching for you for the Secret Service Super Interview is about your life. Yeah, we're going to dig into your life. You guys know who've been through my program. I laugh because I put you guys through the ringer to make sure you pass, right? You guys already know this. But we're going to talk about you, what you've been through, your stories, and how to make them understand that. So when the panel hears your stories, it makes sense to them. Because you're not talking to civilians about your stories. You're talking to people who are federal agents who want to hear you repeat a story you've experienced in your life that has those factors within it. those key factors, key words, key processes, key things that show them you can do the job based upon your prior experience and also prior life experience also. But we're not looking for ramble type questions. We're looking for answers that will make them understand you get the mission of the Secret Service just via your experiences. Everybody there has experiences they can share. But most people do not know how to share these experiences with this panel in a way that makes them favorable in this panel's eyes. So what happens, they get that quiet goodbye and they're gone, the quiet failures. These guys might give you a smile and a nod sometimes because this interview panel is a very professional, but they're not a jerkish panel at all. You know, they don't bring that heat with them on purpose, right? But you feel it, but they don't bring it on purpose. So they're very cordial. But you have to understand, they're also super, super professional, and they are already imagining you in your suit and tie with your badge on, working with them or for them. You have to go up to that level in the interview from start to finish. That civilian stuff you got in your head, if you can't tell your life story correctly, if you don't understand judgment, emotional maturity, mission focus, you're not going to make it. They have a 64.9% fail rate. I still have a 90.4% pass rate for my Secret Service Super Interview or Uniform Division people. 2025, I had 38 clients for Secret Service. They all passed, 100%. This year, 4 have passed so far, this year alone. I love doing what I do. I can show you how to get past the interview so you can go on with your life. You can also continue your mission. That's what I want for you, if you're serious. Okay, guys, this is Coach Mitch. Think about that before you apply, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.